Here's a question. What if the most powerful anti-poverty program in America is a bakery? Not a job training center, not a government reentry office, not a task force, a bakery with sourdough and a cafe next door. Welcome back to Let's Talk Poverty Solutions. I'm Sean Spence, and today we're talking about solutions that are actually working, not in theory, not in a white paper, not in a think tank somewhere, but right now on the ground in one of the most gang-saturated communities in the United States. Let me take you to Boyle Heights, Los Angeles. The year is 1988. A Jesuit priest named Father Greg Boyle, everyone calls him Father G, is watching young people in his parish get buried. Literally, funeral after funeral. The gang violence in East LA during that era was catastrophic, and Father G asked the question that most people were afraid to ask out loud. What if the problem is not that these young people are bad? What if the problem is that they have never been told they are worth anything? That question became Homeboy Industries. Here's how it works. And please pay close attention because the model is replicable. Homeboy is not a charity in the traditional sense. It's a social enterprise ecosystem. When someone walks through the door, and by someone, I mean a formerly incarcerated person, a gang member, someone society has written off, they are not handed a pamphlet and told to come back next Tuesday. They are offered a job, a real job, with a real paycheck inside one of Homeboy's social enterprises, the bakery, the cafe, the catering operation, the electronics recycling facility, the silkscreen shop, the farmer's market. There's even a dog grooming business called Puppy Fades. I love that one. And here's the part that separates Homeboy from every workforce development program you have ever heard of. The job is not the destination. The job is the container. While you're working, you also have access to mental health counseling, substance abuse support, legal services, tattoo removal, because some of those tattoos can cost a job interview, education, and case management. All of it wrapped around employment. All of it free. They call it wraparound services. I call it treating a human being like a whole person. Now, here's where I want to challenge you a little. We spend an enormous amount of time in this country debating whether people in poverty deserve help, whether they made the right choices, whether they are responsible for their own circumstances. And I understand that debate. I've been in it. But consider this. The average person who walks into Homeboy Industries was recruited into a gang before the age of 12. 12. They were children. So when we ask whether they deserve a second chance, maybe the more honest question is, when exactly did they get their first one? Now the results, because we deal in facts on this program. More than 10,000 formerly gang involved and previously incarcerated men and women have moved through Homeboy's programs. The organization serves roughly 15,000 individuals per year across all of its services. And the Global Homeboy Network, which is the replication arm of this model, now includes over 400 organizations in 8 countries that have adopted the Homeboy approach. This is not a local experiment anymore. This is a movement. The economic argument is also compelling. Incarceration in the United States costs taxpayers an average of $35,000 per person per year, and in some states that number exceeds $60,000. Homeboy's annual cost per participant runs a fraction of that. When you redirect a human being from a cycle of incarceration into stable employment and community, You are not just doing the moral thing, you are doing the fiscally responsible thing. So, why is this model not everywhere? That's the question I want to leave you with today, because the barriers are not logistical, they are cultural. We have decided somewhere along the way that certain people are too far gone, that the investment is not worth it, that a gang tattoo is a life sentence. Homeboy Industries is a 35-year-old living, breathing, profitable counter argument to all of that. Think about what a circular economy job training program could look like in your city. Not a bakery necessarily, maybe a laundry, a landscaping company, a media production house. The business itself almost does not matter. What matters is the philosophy underneath it, that work is dignified, that healing is possible, and that the most expensive thing a community can do is give up on its own people. Father G has a line I think about often. He says the measure of a community's character is found in how it treats the most vulnerable members, not its most successful ones, its most vulnerable ones. I think he's right. Homeboy Industries is at homeboyindustries.org. Visit them, buy their coffee, support the network, and if you are a civic leader, an entrepreneur, or a nonprofit director listening to this, ask yourself seriously, could this work where I live? I believe it can. Until next time, this is Sean Spence reminding you that poverty is not a character flaw, it is a lack of resources, a lack of opportunity, and far too often, a lack of power. Learn more at povertyactivist.com.